Hey everyone, thanks for waiting. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live. I am Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clay Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. And this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks Commentary Live. We were supposed to do this yesterday, but as you guys know, I had to finish my paper, and I'm glad that I did. So thank you, those of you that reached out, wish me luck. And yeah, now I'm much more relaxed. I can hang out for a bit more tonight, and I'm not too worried about anything else going on, which is really, really nice. So yeah, thanks again for joining us. I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy. And like I always say, I know you could be doing anything else right now. Let me just close that. I know you could be doing anything else right now, hanging out, watching TV, watching Netflix, whatever it may be. But I appreciate that you are here with me tonight, whether you are in my neighborhood, local, in the city, in the province, national, continental, international, whatever it may be. I appreciate you very much. So yeah, let's just talk. Let's just get going. Just a couple of things tonight. Unfortunately, none of the kids can come down tonight. They're all, actually Sean's studying for a final that he has tomorrow at UBC, so I'm glad that he's taking his responsibility seriously. And Jacob is also preparing for something, and Kayla didn't want to come down, so that's fine. So you're just stuck with me, but I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll survive. And no rap today. I see Dexter's on here, but I'm gonna try something different after. But I'll kind of announce at the end. Maybe for the last 3 to 5 minutes, we'll try something different. If you follow me on Twitter, you might have a hint as to what I might be doing already. I'm gonna move my chair up a little bit here. Okay, that's better. Okay, so a couple of Canucks things I want to talk about really quickly, and then we can get right into your questions. Again, thanks for being here tonight. If you want to press the thumbs up, I will not stop you if you want to give this video a like. Okay, so Bo Horvat was on the Spit and Chicklets podcast, and that's the one with Paul Bissonnette. That's the one with Ryan Whitney, both former NHLers, and a couple other guys, I think from Bar Down or another place, I can't remember. I don't think it's Bar Down, actually. It's another thing. And he was on for a good 40 minutes. They interviewed him. You know, they interviewed him a couple weeks ago, then they kind of teased it a little bit, and they finally came out last Friday. And Horvat was hilarious. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to hear it. Let me know if you had a chance to listen to it. It was really, really good. He was disarmed, if that's the word. He was very relaxed. He swore a few times, which is fine. You know, you're allowed to swear. But you can just tell that he's a good leader. He's getting more confident in his role as a leader. And he had great stories about Besser, about Hughes, about Pedersen, about Jacob Markstrom, about some of the veterans. Best story, he talked about the Sedins, how they led him. The funniest story about Besser, they said Besser is such a nice guy that they all chirp him, but then they actually feel bad when they chirp Besser because they feel like they've hurt his feelings. So that was kind of funny. So check that out, Bo Horvat, Spit and Chicklets podcast. You won't be disappointed. A couple other things. You might have heard the TSN 1040 top 40 moments of all time. That's because they are coming up to 20 years now. So that was a lot of fun. A lot of really, really funny stuff on there, especially with the late and great Jason Botchford, Jeff Patterson, Ray Farrell. A lot of really good memories there. The number one most memorable moment in the 20-year history was the big poker fight between Dave Pratt and Don Taylor. Obviously, Dave Pratt saying that Doyle Brunson, a legend, a 76-year-old poker player, that poker was indeed a sport because of not so much the physical, but the mental taxation on you and maybe the physical wear and tear, being alert for 16 hours straight, whereas Don Taylor would have none of it. So that was a really, really funny fight. If you listen to TSN 1040, make sure you look up the podcast. That was really, really good. And then a couple other things. Took a break from I did 4 Zoom interviews last week. All of them received very well. I admittedly wanted more hits on them, but it's still, I got a lot of good feedback. That was Brendan Batchelor, that was Jeff Patterson, that was Al Murdoch, the Canucks PA announcer, and that was my season ticket neighbor, Jens. And if you had a chance to watch all or any of them, let me know. I'd love to know what you thought. Maybe leave a quick comment, which one you were able to catch. I'd love to know that kind of things. And lastly, I've been talking about this on my vlog the last 2 days. Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet did a wonderful oral history of the 2010-2011 Vancouver Canucks. So on Sunday, he posted how the team was built, and then on Wednesday, he's gonna post how the team did during the regular season and the playoffs, and then perhaps he does a part 3 with the aftermath. But if you don't know what an oral history is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a bunch of people orally explaining what happened, and then Elliot Friedman and some writers put it all together. So it's very comprehensive. It's about 24 ex-players, coaches, coaching staff, management, scouts, athletic staff, announcers. It is a really, really good read. So let me know in the comments or in the chat box if you had a chance to read it, and because there's so many nuggets of information. So yesterday I talked about how the Sedins were so generous, how they turned around and gave that $1.5 million donation to Children's Hospital the week after they signed their big $6.1 million contracts, and they didn't even say a word. They didn't use that in the negotiations. I also learned from the Sedins that after a game that they won, they would go to the exercise room and let other players bask in the glory, be able to face the media after they won. But then if it was a game that they lost, the Sedins were the first one out there facing the media, which I thought was kind of cool. Then today, I talked about if the Sedins and Luongo, who I'll talk about tomorrow, if the Sedins and Luongo were the primary, players of that foundation, you got to have a secondary layer, and that layer was really good with Ryan Kessler, Alex Burrows, and Kevin Bieksa. So if you saw my vlog today, I compared the three players. I talked about their similarities coming up through Manitoba and how they all went to a different team. They've played for two teams in their careers, all three of them, but obviously all of their success was with the Canucks. And one thing I'll leave you with, and then we'll get into it, is I asked the poll question. I said, who had the best career as a Canuck? Was it Alex Burrows, Kevin Bieksa, or Ryan Kessler? And I thought it'd be closer, but I was surprised. Almost 600 votes, but 60% are saying Alex Burrows, 30% saying Ryan Kessler, 10% saying Kevin Bieksa. Now I can see Burrows, why people would like him. Slayed the Dragon, very memorable goal. Great feel-good story coming up from the ECHL, not drafted, and then of course, like I said, Dragon slaying goal, and his name's in the Ring of Honor. But Ryan Kessler was a Selke winner. Ryan Kessler was, right with Henrik, one of the most valuable players in that playoff run, and then, putting the team on his back against Nashville in the second round. Yeah, and sure, he left the team under, poor circumstances, but he did his little redemption tour when the Sedins got retired their jerseys 2 months ago. So I actually thought he'd fare a bit better than only 30% in that vote. And a lot of people really like Ryan Kessler's game. Others really like the Alex Burrows feel-good story. So I get all that. And then Kevin Bieksa a distant third, and not just because he blocked me on Twitter. If we have time, I'll tell you that story later. But yeah, Kevin Bieksa has blocked me on Twitter, one of the very few people that have blocked me. Who would block this nice guy? But apparently he did, and I'm cool with it. Okay, so that's some things that we can always talk about if we run out of things. Bo Horvat on the Spit and Chicklets podcast, my Zoom interviews, and this oral history on Sportsnet 650. But I will get to your questions first, and then we can always come back to those as well. Okay, so again, no Sean, no Jake, no Kayla tonight. You're stuck with me, and we'll end up somewhere between 10:45 and 11. How does that sound? Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering, we probably won't go Wednesday because Wednesday is too quick. So this week I will go Monday and Thursday, as opposed to the Sunday and Wednesday. So the next one will be on Thursday night. All right, let's go. HSM fangirl, of course, number one, first one in there. Hey Clay, before the season started, did you have a feeling that Horvat would be our next captain after Henrik? Yes, I certainly did. I think most people did. There was a small smattering of people that wanted Pettersson, but I think he's too young and he doesn't have to be the captain. But ever since Henrik retired in April of 2018, not 2019, I think they were pegging Horvat, but they wanted to make sure that it wasn't too much pressure for him last season. But for this season coming in, 50th season, want to do something big, no surprises whatsoever, and they did it up really well in that pregame ceremony, in that opening night at home before that demolishing of the LA Kings. Alfred, hey Clay, I hope your family's doing well and staying healthy. Thank you, Alfred. Same to you. Yes, we are doing fine. I'm still working hard, still studying my master's. That's why I did my paper. Getting out, and if you've seen on my Twitter account, doing a lot more bike riding, which is nice. Jacob, Sean, and Kayla all studying hard, and my wife Gail very busy as a teacher. But we are all doing well and enjoying some really good family time. We got a new fire pit from Costco, so we've been outside quite a bit. It's been beautiful, actually. I was just there actually until 10 minutes ago. Then I then I knew I had to come in and set up for this. Kaigan, hi Clay, who's your favorite YouTuber other than yourself? Oh, good question. I admittedly don't watch a lot of other YouTubers, guys that go every day, whether it's about sports or music, whatever. I do watch a lot of sports channels like the Canucks on here. I'll check out Bardell and stuff. A lot of actually musical accounts I follow. Sometimes it's the late night talk shows. But if there's one that I do subscribe to and watch, it's Davey504. And I don't know where he lives. I think he's Italian, but he is this famous bass player. I think he's got millions of subscribers. And he has these hilarious videos, and they're kind of cheesy, but they're really, really good. But Davey504 is the one that I watch. So I don't watch a lot of vloggers, a lot of other people, but Davey504 is a bassist and a really, really wicked bassist, good musician. So if I had to pick one, it would be him. Alfred, it's hard nowadays to find a trio of players like Juice, Kess, and Bird that bring the dressing room a lot of life. Yeah, Alfred, that's awesome that you said that even before I started talking about that. Yeah, a lot of really cool stories of how they brought the Manitoba Moose dressing room to life, and especially the Vancouver Canucks one. They're the great teammates, a lot of fun, brought a lot of fun to the dressing room, and they're the types where you hate to play against them, but then you are thrilled when they're on your team. So yeah, great point about those three, the three amigos, so to speak. HSM fangirl, since today's the anniversary of the Columbine shooting, how did you find out about it and how did you react? Yeah, April 20, 1999, very sad day. 12 people killed, including the two gunmen. I guess they killed themselves inside of that Colorado school. Yeah, it was very sad. So 1999, I was 25 years old. That means I was in the workforce. I wasn't at school anymore. But I must have been at work when it happened. But I do remember it just because maybe I've worked my work in youth ministry. Anytime it has to do with teens and high school teens in particular, that always hits home for me. So very sad, and I can't believe, wow, 1999. So I can't believe it's been 21 years since then. Very, very scary, very sad, and of course, you know, fitting or not fitting. And I mean that respectfully. It's ironic's not the right word either. I don't know what the word is, but the fact that the Nova Scotia shooting happened as well yesterday, very, very sad. Nahal, hey Clay, so glad the stream was today because I was super busy with homework yesterday. Oh, well, I'm glad it worked out for you as well. You and I were both doing homework, and that's good that you actually do homework. Not that I'm sure you're a pretty smart guy, but I'm glad you're here with us, Nahal. Thank you. Brock, hi Brock. Nahal, Clay, who's your favorite player growing up? When I was younger, I like a guy named Patrick Sundstrom. He was a winger for the Vancouver Canucks. And then as I became more of a fan, I liked Pavel Bure because of the excitement. And then Roberto Luongo for a long time was my favorite Canuck while he was here. And I'm excited to talk about him in my vlog tomorrow. But yeah, I'd say Roberto Luongo was my favorite player in the last 10 years before it changed to Bo Horvat. But if you're talking about when I was growing up as a young kid, it was a guy named Patrick Sundstrom. And unless you're as old as me, you probably won't even remember him. But look him up. He was pretty good. Nux, hey Clay, hope you and your family is staying safe and doing well at home. We are indeed. Thank you, Nux, and I hope the same for you. Edmund, howdy ho, sir. Hello, Edmund. Matthew, hi Clay. Hey Matthew, thanks for being here. Dexter, what are your thoughts on the Nova Scotia shooting? Sad, tragic. I have a coworker who I talked to today whose family is basically two doors down from one of the victims' houses. I don't know which victim. That's a very small town, so to have someone who I work with have family there, it's very, very sad. Very, you know, I don't want to judge the killer. I don't want to judge his motivation or whatever, but it's really sad to see that someone goes to that length to commit such a heinous crime. You know, I feel and I pray for the families, the repose of the soul of those who have passed away, meaning the rest of their soul. We're already living in such a crazy time, and then to have to deal with something like this on top of it, it's very sad. And yeah, it's heartbreaking. It really, really is, because every single person that died has a story, whether they were a healthcare worker or a police officer or a family man or a stay-at-home mom or a teenager, whatever it was. It's very, very sad. Nahal, I may have to go soon though because I have one assignment left to do. I'll try to watch them if I can. No problem, Nahal. You do what you can. You know that these are going to be still posted up on YouTube anyways, but thanks. Oh, by the way, I was thinking about this. I've heard some feedback, maybe, and just at the risk of cluttering up the comments, but I'd love to know what you think. Do you like the 10 p.m. time, or do you want me to do it earlier, i.e. 7 or 8 or 9? So I know that we're talking about the same thing. Just write a time there. That I can just see 10 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. And keep it realistic, of course. Night's better than day, obviously, because I work. But just say 10, 9, 8, 7, and I'll know what you're talking about. Put that in the comments, and I'll rip through those as well. You guys know I like 10 p.m. because it gives me a chance to have everything done, my studying, my work. You know, if I was bowling, my bowling, anything like that. And if the Canucks were playing, it's after a Canucks game. But I do know that some of you study and you need to go to bed earlier or whatever. But you can always watch the replay, but I know it's not the same as watching live. So just something to think about. But yeah, I see a bunch of responses coming in. I appreciate you responding, but we'll get to those. Very good. If you could interview John Shorthouse or Dan Murphy, that would be amazing. Yeah, Edmund, I'm actually going to reach out to Dan Murphy next. I think he'd be good. Thomas Strant said he'll come on with me, which is pretty exciting. I would love to get a Canuck player on, but I don't know if that's easy. That's probably easier said than done. But yeah, I have Thomas Strant's lined up for hopefully later this week. And I think Dan Murphy would be a great one. I will reach out to him. Nahal, you listened to some of it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Nux, I'm so sick and tired of staying home so bored. I keep taking naps all day. Must be nice, but yeah, I know now that we're a month in, it's getting a little bit tougher. So that is tough. The captain is swearing, Nahal. Yes, he was. He swore a lot, but it was pretty funny. Edmund, it seems most teammates don't want Jake Virtanen and someone they want to be stuck in quarantine with. LOL. Yeah, and you know, it's kind of funny, because those are just kind of fun questions where they're having fun with. But the fact that everyone is answering him, I don't know if it's because he's immature or if he's loud, or if he's loud and immature, or whatever. But yeah, mostly they always pick a veteran as the guy they want to be quarantined with, and it seems like Jake Virtanen's name is coming up a lot. I just think he's a pretty fun, gregarious character. I wouldn't say he's immature. I think he's just he has got a big personality. Maybe with quarantine, you want someone who's kind of chill, right? You can have their moments, but you can also have some quiet time as well. It is pretty funny to see them all mention him. Jamie, Sports Dog. Hey, Clay, how's it going with you, buddy? I'm great, Jamie. Hope you and Shelly are well as well. Christopher, hi. Hi, Chris. Thanks for being here. Edmund, back in the day, did you ever watch Sports Page? Absolutely, Edmund. Every night, 11 p.m., stay past my bedtime, much like I asked some of you guys to do here. And yeah, I would watch some, Paul Carson, Don Taylor, Dave Randor, John Shorthouse, Barry McDonald, all these guys that got, Blake Price maybe, all these guys that got their starts. It was pretty much a who's who of Vancouver sportscasting. I love Sports Page. I love Yuling with the Page. So Edmund, that means you're a little older than I think some of the people on here, if you remember it. Dexter, imagine thinking poker is a sport. So I know where you come out on it. Yeah, and I play. I know how to play. I was pretty good at it back. We used to play actually every week. A bunch of church guys playing poker on a Wednesday night. How's that? But I enjoy playing it, but it doesn't offend me if someone says it's not a sport. Christopher, how are you and your family doing? We're doing fine. Thank you, Christopher. I hope you're doing well as well. Thank you for asking. Well, there's a lot of comments, which is really, really good. So I'll make sure I don't go too slow. Nahal, the Al Murdoch one was really cool. I watched the whole thing. Thank you, Nahal. Yeah, he was a lot of fun, especially when he went into some of his goal calls for Bo Horvat, for Elias Pettersson, for yours truly. Thanks for watching. Yeah, Al was great. He's a really, really nice guy. Troy, hey, Clay, who's going to be on the next Canuck on Spit and Chicklets? Great question, Troy. Actually, I don't listen to it enough. I don't listen to every episode, so I don't know who they're going to have on next. And I'm guessing they're going to, rotate things around. But yeah, that's a great question. If anyone else knows, let me know. But I don't know, Troy. Sorry about that. Chris, what is the best thing you've ever eaten or the best meal you've ever had? Mine was the food at my cousin's wedding in Italy in 2018. That sounds really good. The best food I've ever had. Wow. Yeah, I can't think of something right off the top of my head. I think anything at a wedding or an expensive hotel is really good. I know I've taken 4 trips to the Philippines. We've had some good meals there. I've eaten in Japan back in 1989, but that was a long time ago. I've eaten in Rome. I was there for 6 years ago, and that'll be a story for another time, but I was traveling around with the Governor General, so we had a police motorcade everywhere we went, and I know we ate really well there. Great question. I might say the best thing you've ever eaten. I don't know. I still like a good, fresh, expensive sashimi, but I can't pinpoint a place. So maybe I'll go with sashimi overall as my favorite food, and I would say maybe one of my meals in Rome was really good. I just can't picture one off the top of my head, but I know we ate very well there because they were feeding the Governor General and all these politicians and this guy. Cool question. Michael, hi Clay, hope you're safe. Self-isolate, my job, got 400 plus case, family and worker, High River cargo food. Oh yes, Michael, I remember that you were in Alberta, so I hope that you are okay as well and healthy. Ryan Kessler, Nahal picks of the 3, yeah, he was so bad at Anaheim. Yeah, his hips weren't doing him any favors for sure. Justin, hi Clay, watch the replay of 2011 round 1 against Chicago. Who would you rather have in a must-win game in a Canucks uniform game 7, a Ryan Kessler or Jonathan Toews in their prime? I still think Jonathan Toews is a tiny bit better than Ryan Kessler. I think he's just as tenacious defensively. He's very smart and he's very determined. And I think I like Jonathan Toews' attitude just a tiny bit better than Ryan Kessler. I love Ryan Kessler, but I think if I had to take one of those guys in a game 7, I would take Jonathan Toews. Although Kessler did score for the U.S. in that gold medal game. But yeah, great question. Tough choice, but I would go with Jonathan Toews. Edmund, Ryan Kessler, I forgave him. Great memories for sure during his tenure as a Canuck. Yeah, I think fans would agree with you. Dexter, I'm always the first one to comment, but they always disappear for some reason. So I don't know if you're being sarcastic or if that's true, but regardless, I appreciate the effort, Dexter. Yeah, a lot of your comments get redacted or retracted, but I don't know if that's you or if that's the machine saying something to you. Nux, I know, same, they always go away. Oh, interesting. Maybe you guys are here too early. Troy, do you think Jim Sanlak would have been a good fit with Pettersson and Miller? I like his size, but I don't think he'd have the speed nor the hands to keep up with those two guys. He was nicknamed the House for a reason, But yeah, I don't think that I don't think he would keep up, quite frankly. Edmund, Clay, if you had to pick between Keenan or Tortorella as the worst Canucks coach of all time, who'd you pick? I'd go with Keenan. I actually liked Tortorella. I thought he was good. Remember, the team was in a playoff position before he lost his mind and went after the Calgary Flames coaches. And then, of course, the Canucks went on tailspin from there. But the Canucks were in a playoff position. And you look at both of those guys actually have good pedigrees. But as for a Canuck, I thought Keenan was worse than Tortorella. Chris, it was such a relief yesterday. I finished my last exam for the semester of SFU Business School BD. Awesome, Chris. Congratulations. You're in BD. That's really, really cool. Congratulations to you. And I don't know if you're taking summer courses or you're going to take it easy for 4 months now. That's wonderful. That's awesome. Ryan, Clay, hope you're doing well, brother. Great to see you doing a live stream tonight. Hi, Ryan. Hope you're well. Thanks for the messages on Twitter and Instagram as well. And hope you are doing well as well, Ryan. Thanks for being here. Troy, the Canucks should play a throwback game at the Pacific Coliseum, bring back memories. Yeah, I don't know if that would fly given, well, they'd have to give up a lot of revenue because the Coliseum only fit 15 or 16 as opposed to the 19 that Rogers Arena. But yeah, it might be fun. Maybe for an exhibition game, actually, but not a regular season game. Yeah, that's good. Latang is God 58. Hello, Latang. I don't think I've seen you here before. Thanks for being here. Garrett, have you been to any Canuck road games, and what's your favorite non-Canucks arena you've been to? Great question, Garrett. I've actually never watched the Canucks play on the road. I've been, no, not a lot. I'm not one of those guys who goes to every arena, but I've been to about 5 or 6 other ones. I've been in Ottawa's arena. I've been in Calgary Flames arena. I was in Atlanta when they're playing. I've been to Vegas, been to San Jose. So there's about 5 or 6 there, but never to see the Canucks play. Vegas was an unbelievable experience. It's so over the top, but it's a lot of fun. San Jose, really good sight lines. I like the San Jose arena. Calgary, you sit up near the top and the flame goes off and it feels very warm. And you check to make sure you still have your eyebrows. Actually, maybe I could use a little burn job. But yeah, all these places are really, really good. But I've never seen the Canucks play, admittedly. And I've actually been to a lot of other arenas, such as in Columbus and other places, but not for actually hockey. It's for youth conferences and stuff, like Catholic youth conferences. But yeah, my favorite non-Canucks arena would have to be Vegas. I like Vegas, the city, and they do a really good job with their game presentation. I don't give a Chuck. Thanks for being here. Stopping by to say hi. I hope you and your family are well, Clay. It's 1 a.m. here, so I'm ready to go to bed. Awesome. Well, Paul, I appreciate you being here. I don't give a Chuck. He does some great videos as well. Make sure that you give him a follow or a subscribe on here. That would be great. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Lori, hi Clay, hope you and your family well. We are, Lori, and I hope you are well as well. Thank you for the nice messages on Twitter as well. Brock, my dad's favorite players growing up was Sundstrom and Gerdine. There you go. So that means I'm as old as your dad, but that's okay. But yes, Patrick Sundstrom was pretty good, number 17. Nuck, so what did you do today? Great question. Got up and I had work. So I worked straight from 9 to 5 at my computer, a bunch of meetings. And then part of that, I actually went to my church to take some pictures for a project we're doing at work. Then after from 5 to 6, I took it easy. No, 5 to 6, I finished off editing my paper and submitted it. Then I had dinner. Then I went for a bike ride in Steveston, which was nice. Came back. My family and I played this game called Scriblio, one of those goofy drawing games on the internet. And then we sat outside around the fire pit for half an hour. And then I came in here. I'm doing this. After I do this, I have some work to do for my church probably for about an hour and a half. And then I will hit the sack. So there's my typical day. Edmund, wondering would you ever eat at some of the places most Canucks players like to eat? I know back in the day, Roberto Longo liked going to, I don't know how you say that, Chapino's in Yaletown. Edmund, it sounds like you are a foodie because I know you've asked questions about food before. I'm almost embarrassed to give you some of my suggestions because I don't eat well when I go out. I kind of stick to my old favorites. But yeah, I would eat where they eat. I'd probably have to take out a mortgage to eat where they eat. But yes, I would, a second mortgage. But yeah, I would love to eat where they eat once I knew where they ate, unless you know where they eat. Dexter, why kill innocent people because you're a coward and can't deal with your own problems? It's terrible. It's true. And you never know, Dexter. And obviously a lot of these people suffer from mental health issues, which is very sad. And it's just, yeah, it's hard to figure out. It really, really is. It is terrible, I agree. Jamie, hey Clay, I have a question. Good question. Okay, good question for you. Do you think we will put up Ryan Kesler's number with Marcus Naslund? No, I do not think that Ryan Kesler's number will be retired. And I think it's debatable whether he goes in the Ring of Honor. He didn't leave the team on good terms, but he was, like I said, a very good player while he was here. So I think it's debatable. Some say it might be Kevin Bieksa ahead of Ryan Kessler. I think Edler will be up there as well eventually, but he's still a few years away. But yeah, Ring of Honor at most for Kessler, but certainly not a jersey retirement. I don't think so. I don't think that would be the right message to fans, quite frankly. Okay, so now we got a bunch of things. So we got 10 p.m., 10 p.m., 10 p.m. Then we have 9 a.m. Oh, switch to 9 p.m. So Dexter is liking all these things. Start earlier, I'm sleepy. Try like 8:40. Okay, 10, 10, 10 or 9, 10, 10, 10. Okay, so we're getting a lot of 10. So maybe you guys are night owls as well. And for those of you that need to go to bed early, I guess you just got to watch it the next day. 10 o'clock, like I said, does work a lot better for me because of my schedule as well. Thank you, though, for your feedback there. Justin, another quick question. With us being regulars before I moved to Surrey at Sushimura and Oak, do you miss frequenting that place? I miss how they know my regular order of time. Yeah, Justin, I remember seeing you there once at Sushimura. I still go, actually. They're still open. They're doing takeout. I only go to my office once every week or once every 2 weeks. I either pick something up to run a meeting or whatever it may be. And then I will make sure that I visit and support them and buy Sushimura when I'm there. Yeah, it's too bad that you missed it. I'm sure you found another Japanese place in Surrey, but I do love Sushimura. Funny story about that. You guys might remember there's that food vlogging review website called Zomato. Well, when you typed in Sushimura, it's a restaurant on Oakland 49th, into Zomato, the picture that come up would be me, and I was standing there like in a shirt and tie, like standing up like this, and it looked like I was the manager or the owner, but it turns out I think I was explaining something to a coworker. I'm not sure why I stood up to do that, but yeah, I was the cover boy, the model for Sushimura on Zomato for a few months, which is kind of cool. But yes, I do miss Sushimura, but I still go when I can. Michael, it's 11 p.m. to me. When my work opens up, I'll be working unless it's Sunday. Yeah, Michael, I know being in Alberta, you're 1 hour ahead, so I appreciate the effort. I really do. Daniel, wow, I somewhat made it on time. How are you? I'm great, Daniel. I hope you are doing well as well. Thanks for coming on here. Oh, I saw an Ask Alexa question, so we'll get to that in a second. Is it plugged in? Yeah, she is. Okay, so we'll get to that in a second. Thanks, Daniel, for being here. I appreciate you, man. Dexter, they wouldn't want to be quarantined with Jake because he would come back 40 pounds overweight. Yeah, Jake has, that's funny, Dexter. Jake has, did not show up to camp looking too good this year, but he's a solid, muscular man. So when he's in shape, he's a tank. He can smoke guys, and I want him to smoke guys more. Alfred, on NHL 20 besides Canucks, which team do you often choose to play and why? Oh, that's a great question. So when I play threes with Sean or Jacob, we do this thing where we have to pick a random team. So we press the square button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and you have to pick one of those 3 teams. Or if you don't like any of those 3 teams, you can press the square button a 4th time, and no matter who you get, you have to pick. So I always want to get one of 5 teams: Tampa, Toronto, Washington, Boston, or Vegas. And any of those 5 teams, especially on threes, I love Washington because they got Ovechkin and Backstrom. Vegas got decent goaltending, and Tampa, of course, I think it's Kucherov and Stamkos that they put out there. You have Vasilevsky and Net and Hedman. So Tampa's a strong team. Boston's good because you have Marchand, and I think they put Pasternak out there with Chara. So all those teams I mentioned, the 5 of them, and Toronto's got Marner and Matthews. So again, this is for threes. When it comes to 5s, then I'll probably want a team like a Tampa or a Boston. I hate the team, but I like playing with Boston actually on NHL 20. Great question. Tony, dude, why did Kevin Bieksa block you? That doesn't sound very Kevin Bieksa-like. Okay, I can tell you the story very quickly. On July 1st of one year, 2015, I guess, we wrote a song, and it was Boyz II Men, that It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday. And HSM Fangirl knows this story because I've talked to her about it, or she's seen this video. So look it up. It's So Hard to Say Goodbye. And it was supposed to be for Kevin Bieksa and Eddie Lack. While we're filming that song, we find out that Zach Cassian gets traded to Montreal for Brandon Pruss. So then we actually ad-libbed a line. We put it into the song, the Zach Cassian trade as well. So that song became a goodbye song to Kevin Bieksa, Eddie Lack, and Zach Cassian. And then as soon as I released it, Kevin Bieksa blocked me. So he either didn't like my singing. I actually, truly what I think it was, unless he was just messing with me. I think he was actually, because I tagged him in my original post, and when I do these parody songs, they often get a lot of traction on Twitter, just people replying or retweeting it. I'm guessing, although I'm sure he gets way more notifications than that day, like as a pro athlete. But I'm guessing that it was July 1. You know, he was in the summer. Maybe he didn't like his phone ringing, dinging with notifications all the time that someone retweeted or replied to my song. That's actually what I think the reason is. But that's just my guess. Maybe he doesn't like me. Maybe he doesn't like good-looking Asian guys. I don't know. Maybe he's just messing with me. But whatever. He's blocked me, and it's fine. Like, it's totally fine. You guys know that you just don't log into Twitter, and you can look up guys' accounts if you want to. So you don't have to follow someone to see their tweets. But it's funny. I've had people on Twitter actually writing him saying, "Unblock Clay. He's the nicest guy on Twitter. Unblock Clay. He's so nice. Unblock Clay. He's a big fan." And it was very nice, but it was all unsolicited. It really doesn't matter to me that he's blocked me, but it's just kind of funny. So there's the story. There you go, Tony. Yeah, and yeah, it seems like he's a nice guy. I like him. I respect him a lot, but it doesn't sweat me that he's blocked me. Edmund, you're in your 30s? Okay, I'm in my 40s, 45. Dexter, there's a pro Fortnite player, and his Instagram bio, it says professional athlete. Well, there you go. Whether it's poker or Fortnite. Maybe he's a really good dancer, does all those dances. I don't know. Alex, my friend, what are your thoughts on the 2011 Canucks going against the 2011 Tampa Bay Lightning instead of the 21 Bruins? Do you think they would have won the Stanley Cup? I answered this question 2 streams ago. I don't know if you guys remember this. And Alex, I don't know if you're the one who asked me it, but I hope not. Then it's fine you asked me. But if you did ask me already, I do remember answering it. Yeah, I do think the Canucks could have beat the Tampa Bay Lightning because I think the Canucks were just as fast and just as skilled as the Lightning, and they would have been the aggressors. Now, against Boston, I think both teams were aggressive. They had really gritty third line and fourth line players, a lot of big hits and stuff like that. But I think the Canucks would have matched up well against Tampa. So I do think the Canucks would have beat Tampa in Stanley Cup final. Good question though, Alex. Michael, not sure, I'm waiting for tests, might have virus. My plant shut down, started fever. Oh, well, Michael, I will pray for you, and I hope, just because you have the virus doesn't mean it might not be the worst news ever, especially if you've already fought it off or if you can recover quickly. But Michael, thanks for sharing that with all of us, and we pray and we hope that your test comes back negative, i.e. that you do not have COVID. But thanks, that's very scary. That's in a very real situation. Dexter, I commented yesterday, but when I came back, my comment was gone, and HSM was first. Okay, well, do you remember what your comment was? But thank you for your effort. I appreciate that. Dexter, can you give any advice on how to get money as a teen? I'm a soccer ref, but the season is over, so I need some advice on how to get money over the summer. Okay, so obviously I presume we're talking about a non-COVID world. As a teen, it really depends. Like, I know there are a lot of places, although they get a bad rap, I know a lot of people that have worked at McDonald's as a first job. Even my lovely wife Gail, that was her first job, because it's a really good training place. I understand that people are treated well at McDonald's. So if you're talking about how to get money as a teen, I would say, well, obviously work. That's how you get money. I presume it's not like gambling or selling drugs or anything like that. I'm just kidding. But if you're talking about how to get money as a teen, yeah, you can pick up a part-time job for sure. But I would say pick up a job that you like doing. Like, the boys both work at the bowling alley and they love it. You guys know that they're competitive bowlers, so they enjoy going to work, and there are some perks there that help them. So whether it's a food joint or retail, I think you need to be open to work a couple of times a week as a teen, even more in the summer. I know I worked at the P&E, but Dexter, I think you're in Nanaimo, right? Yeah, so it might not be easy for you to work at the P&E. Well, there's no P&E this year. But I think if you find work, you want to find work over the summer. The other thing you could do is you can volunteer, and yeah, that doesn't lead to money, but oftentimes people volunteer places just to see if they like a certain organization or like a certain line of work, and then it makes them more ambitious to find a job in that field down the road. But if you're asking simply advice to get money as a teen, here's another one, tutoring. Tutoring, you could find people that aren't as smart as you, either in your grade or a couple years younger, and you can tutor them. That's another way to make decent money. The old school paper routes, if they still do that, call centers, whatever it may be. But yeah, I think you just gotta be open to doing something. It's funny, like on one hand, you wanna do something that you like doing, but on the other hand, you might not be able to get something exactly what you wanna do. So if you recognize it's just for the summer or just for 2 or 3 times a week, then maybe that will suffice as well. So there's a lot there, but Dexter, I think you just gotta put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, and just really grind it out if you want. But yeah, this summer might be tougher than a normal summer to find money, which is tough. Or just blow up on YouTube and try and do that as well. Alex, if it was possible, Clay, would you want to have a second NHL team in Vancouver? They would be using Pacific Coliseum in the arena. It was used in NHL arena in the past. Yeah, the Canucks used to play at Coliseum, but no, I don't think it's viable. The Canucks aren't even selling out their own arena now, although there's a wait list prior to a few years ago. But no, if you say it was possible, no, I still wouldn't want a second team here. I think one team's enough. Why further split the fan base? I think Seattle's the best case scenario. Yeah, sure, there's the border to worry about, but at least it's a team within 2 or 3 hours of driving distance. I like that better. Edmund, yes, I'm a foodie. Yep, no surprise there, in a good way. Michael, lucky you can leave house. I got 1 more week. I've been locked up since Monday. My shutdown on Wednesday, but beef before price goes up. Buy beef before price goes up. Thank you, Michael, for that advice. I appreciate that. Dexter, are there any retired Canucks numbers that you don't think deserve to be up there? Smeal, Daniel, Henrik, Naslin, Linden, and Bure. Oh, that's such a subjective call, Dexter. Great question. No, I wouldn't say that. I'll put it this way. How's this? I wouldn't say that any of those 6 guys do not deserve to be up there by Canuck standards. I'm not sure if Stan Smeal his jersey gets retired in another city like Montreal or Toronto or New York or Boston. And that's all due respect to Stan Smeal. He was a captain for a long time, still involved in the organization. But when you add up his numbers, like, it's not the best stats ever. And I know it's more than stats. It's about heart. It's about community, all those things. So I don't have any problem with the 6 guys that are up there. But I would say that group of 6 is probably weaker, comparatively speaking, than to other teams throughout the league. I think that's the best way to put it. Okay, next we're going to ask Alexa how many Stanley Cups the Canucks have. Okay, here we go. Alexa, how many Stanley Cups do the Vancouver Canucks have?
Here's something I found on the web. According to theriches.com, the Montreal Canadiens have 24 Stanley Cups in total, with their first coming in 1960.
Okay, Alexa, stop.
Just 1 year.
Okay, I think I hesitate too much. So we know that Montreal has 24. Let's try this again. Alexa, how many cups do this? Oh, I messed up. Alexa, stop. Okay, good. Alexa, how many Stanley Cups do the Vancouver Canucks have?
Here's something I found on reference.com. The Pittsburgh Penguins have won 5 Stanley Cup titles.
Okay, Alexa, stop. I think we know the answer is 0, and Alexa is just making us mad now because she told us about Montreal and Pittsburgh. So we'll figure that out. Alexa, do you know who the Vancouver Canucks are?
The Vancouver Canucks are a professional ice hockey team based in Vancouver. They compete in the National Hockey League as a member of the Pacific Division of the Western Conference. The Canucks play their home games at Rogers Arena, formerly known as General Motors Place, which has an official capacity of 18,910.
Okay, that's not bad. Some good nuggets there, but nothing about Stanley Cups, but there's nothing really to say. Okay, that's enough for her for now. Chris, I don't know who my dad's favorite player was growing up. However, his 2 least favorite players are Brent Sopel and Alex Edler. Oh, Chris, expand on that if you can. Garrett, who's your favorite athlete, non-hockey related? Great question. I like Michael Jordan. I haven't watched the documentary. I'm going to wait till this weekend to watch it because I've been studying. But yeah, I love Michael Jordan. I love his compete, his desire, his attitude, his desire to win. And I was blessed to see him once live when he played against the Vancouver Grizzlies here. But yeah, I did like Michael Jordan when I was growing up for sure. I didn't think I could play basketball no one can, but I wasn't even close. I was more like a Kevin Johnson for you old school. You guys remember Kevin Johnson, guy who could jump and a guy who's pretty quick, except I can't dribble left, but that's okay. Yeah, favorite athlete, non-hockey related, definitely Michael Jordan. Jamie, hey Clay, who do you think will be next to have their number jersey? Sorry, let's try that again. Hey Clay, who do you think will the next to have their jersey number put up with Marcus Laslin? That's a good question. Because if it's not Roberto Luongo, which I don't think it will be, then I think maybe we're waiting for a guy like Pettersson or Hughes to retire, truly. Because Alex Edler, who I'd say is the next closest, I think he's a Ring of Honor guy. I think Luongo's a Ring of Honor guy. Bieksa maybe, Kessler maybe. And then the Sedin's already up there. So maybe we're waiting for the next best player. It might be Pettersson or Hughes, but that we could be looking at 15 years down the road. Interesting question. Dexter, do you prefer Beagle's flow or his short hair? I'm a short hair guy, obviously, so we'll go with that. I didn't even know he cut it. So did he cut it today? Alfred, for me and Chell, I always like to play either play either LA, Chicago, New York, or Boston because of the arena atmosphere, aside from the good players. Yeah, that's good. Although LA is pretty weak in goal. LA, Chicago, and Rangers, they don't have good defensive stats, right? Actually, I remember the Rangers, I played with them today. They're 87. Well, 3-on-3, they're 87 in goals. So I don't know what they're like 5-on-5. Dexter, if I see BX, I'll tell him to unblock you. Dexter, only if you want to. That's fine, man. But don't worry about it. Thank you. Next, Ori's mad at you. Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he didn't like my song. Chris, my favorite player would actually be a tie between the Sedins and Luongo. Great choices. Luongo, I'll be talking about him in my vlog tomorrow. Dexter, I'll go work at Fresh Slice with Travis Green, Greece City. Okay. Yeah. I know some people that work at Fresh Slice. Some of my Jacob's friends work there. It seems like a decent place. Greece City, that's awesome. Tony, Dexter, washing dishes, dude. Kitchens are super fun, busy, and you get tip money. Restaurants are always Tony, that is excellent advice. I would agree with that actually. My first job was at Old British Fish and Chips at the P&E, and then another job I had for 3 years was as a busboy at an Italian restaurant. Tony, excellent idea. Restaurants, not now, but when everything reopens, restaurants will be looking for people for sure. Great suggestion. Alex, Clay, if you could keep the salary cap or remove it, what would you do? I think you need a salary cap for sure. Maybe you want it to be a little higher, but if you have no salary cap, then guys are just going to form super teams, right? Pay me $10 million, pay me $10 million. You could get like 5 guys that make $10 to $12 million. I don't know. You'd have to find an owner, but if an owner thinks he's going to win a Stanley Cup, then they would do that. So no, I think you need a salary cap, and that's why every league has some sort of form of salary cap. Dexter, thanks, Tony. Yeah. Okay. Now I don't know how to say this, but I'm butchering this. Maybe you can spell it phonetically, but it's either Rome Ticklin or Roman Icklin or Romy Ticklin, whatever it is. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all of you, but I know, Rome, that you've been leaving messages on my vlogs daily, and they're very well thought out, really well thought out. So I appreciate yours, like everyone's support and your contributions to the channel. So let's see. What kind of player do you think Luc Bourdon would have become? Do you think he could be that #1 D-man the Canucks have always wanted? He'd be in his early 30s. Yeah, very sad that Bourdon got killed in a motorcycle accident. Obviously really close to Alex Burrows. It's really tough to say. I think he would be a top 4 for sure, like at least at minimum a second pairing D. Maybe he would be a top pairing D, but maybe not in the sense that we see Quinn Hughes is going to be. So maybe he'd be a #2 D-man. Maybe he would be in a solid as like Tanev or Edler, who we'd agree they're on our top pairing, but they weren't a true #1 D-man. But great question. Really sad to think about that as well. But yeah, he would have been a really good player. Very good. Good question. Thanks. And let me know how you pronounce your name properly. Dexter, I forgot Brewery. Yeah, you did. You named 5 guys. Dexter, I think you take Smeal down because of how you pronounce Podkolzin's name. Yeah. Dexter, that's really funny. I was at the draft. Stan Smeal was thanking the Canucks, Canucks fans, I should say, for being there at the draft. And then he says, from St. Petersburg, and he says, Vasily Podkolzins. Like, it was just really bad. He added letters where there weren't supposed to be letters. He took out letters where there shouldn't be letters. And then the crowd really reacted because a lot of people still like Podkolzin, right? He was supposed to be #3 after Hughes and Kako for the longest time, but then he dropped, and he was the wild card, right? I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be great. But yes, Smeal completely butchered Podkolzin's name. That was really funny, actually. Nux, LOL, not even answering the question. Yeah, I tell you, Alexa got an attitude for sure. Justin, at least you didn't say Boston Bruins won a Stanley Cup. Yeah, I would have thrown it through the window. Good point, Justin. Baloo me, hey Clay, hope you're staying safe. How much do you miss watching the Canucks? Very much so. That's why I talk about them every day. But yeah, I miss them very much. I'm sure you guys do too. Dexter, do you think weed should be a banned substance in professional sports? I know it's allowed in UFC and maybe NFL and MLB. Morally, yes, but that's just me. I know we're talking about this on 420. Should it be banned? I guess if it doesn't enhance your performance, then one could argue it shouldn't be banned. But I don't know if you want that, prevalent in locker rooms and in cars and in meetings and stuff. And maybe it's just because I'm a prude. Maybe it's because I don't smoke the stuff and I've never tried to. But no, I don't think it should. I think it should be banned, but I don't think it's the biggest problem either. How's that for a cop-out answer? Alex, if Benning was really good at drafting, he would have drafted Mitch Marner and Pasternak in the 2014 draft. Yep, there's a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda. Michael, July or August, do you think they're going to do the Stanley Cup playoffs? I've heard they're willing to go all the way until September if they have to, but we'll see. Edmund, I agree with Tony. Working in a kitchen teaches you stuff. It can be stressful, but good learning. Yep, I agree. Jamie, when we go to the Cup finals, who would you like to see the Canucks play? Well, I want to see a team that they can beat, but obviously it's going to be a good team if they get to the Cup finals. Jamie, I think, you know, out of the East, I like Tampa. I like that team a lot. Will they still be good when the Canucks get good, which I predict will be 3 and 4 years? Yeah, you know, Vancouver, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal series would be fascinating because then you have 2 Canadian teams. But I like Tampa a lot. I think that would be a good matchup. But yeah, it's tough to say, right? You got to kind of project who's going to be good in 3 or 4 years. Maybe it is Tampa still. Maybe Boston's still good. Maybe Toronto's really good. Tough to say. Good question. Dexter, did you see that person on Twitter asking Craig Butt about the Czech defenseman? No, I'm not going to. You think I'm like 10 years old, Dexter? I'm not going to say that guy's name out loud. You can say it out loud as many times as you want. Tony, and you were doing so good, Dexter. Your questions up to then were so good. Tony, did you watch Building Brock? I just watched it again recently. What a guy. I thought he seemed arrogant when we drafted him. Oh, that's funny, Tony, that you mentioned. No, yes, I have watched Building Brock a few times. It's funny that you think he was arrogant, but maybe he was just so, not humble, but maybe he was so happy and confident and wanting to make a difference. And we know that he's the opposite of arrogant. He's one of the most humble guys, if not the most humble guys on the team. Yes, I watched Building Brock. It was excellent. Garrett, do you watch BC Lions or Whitecaps often? What are your memories of the Grizzlies? Garrett, yes, I was a jam-pack holder for all 6 years the Grizzlies were here, so I was at 10 or 11 games a year. Fun time in the arena, horrible team. The NBA didn't do them any favors. I used to go to Lions games 2 or 3 a year, not so much now, but I love football. I like the experience. I don't go to Whitecaps games maybe once every 2 or 3 years, usually because Marie or Ariel singing the anthem there. But not a big soccer fan. But I appreciate their skill and their athleticism. So I would go Canucks, Grizzlies, Lions, and Whitecaps. But back in the day, I was a big Lions fan. I go to not only 2 or 3 games a year. I go to about 5 or 6. But haven't been the most entertained, and it's really dead in the stadium. It's really tough. All right, a couple more, and then we'll wind up. Okay, this is what we're gonna do as I rip through these last 5 or 6. Instead of me rapping, I want you to give me your best haiku. And you guys know that I'm the master of the haiku. I would do a post-game haiku contest after every Canucks game, which I got to update, by the way. So a haiku is a 17-syllable poem, 575. So again, 17 syllables in 575. There's no contest. There's no anything. I just want to see, give me your best Canucks or COVID-related haiku. And I'll just read it out. Remember, it's got to be 17 syllables, 575. And let's see what you guys come up with as we wind up. So let's see what's down below. Okay. Chris, he always criticized Edler's play and has even said that we'd be better off trading him for 7th round pick than having him on your team. And he said that Edler's the new Sopel. Well, I think that's a little harsh on Edler. I still think he's very good. He's a great leader and his teammates love him and he plays big minutes. Chris, Sopel is before my time as a Canucks fan, but my mom and brother always tell me and dad agrees how much he hit him. Yeah, Sopel wasn't the best player. Kind of high risk, high reward. A lot of people remember him because of his hair. I can't remember how long he played here, but he wasn't the best player. Jamie, hey Clay, did you watch Monday Night Raw tonight? No, I'm going to finish this, do some church work, and then maybe watch Raw before I go to bed. So don't spoil anything for me, but I'm going to watch it later. Nux, hey, why didn't we tank for McDavid in 2015? Yeah, well, that was the year we actually made the playoffs, right? 2014, 2015. So as I mentioned, we were 8th overall so we picked 23rd. And we ended up with Brock Besser in 2015. But yeah, we didn't tank because we were right in the thick of the playoff race. We were only 5 points behind Anaheim to win the Pacific Division. Dexter, someone actually asked him about him, even though it was a fake name, and Craig Button answered it. Button deleted the tweet right away. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to see it, Dexter. I won't say it, but I'd love to see it. That's pretty funny. Jamie, how about Pittsburgh versus the Canucks for the Cup? Yeah, that would be a good one. Tyson, hey Canucks, hey Clay, hey, who's your favorite Canucks player? It's Bo Horvat right now. Alfred, in the previous years where we bumped down to 5th a few times in the draft, do you think we could have won the draft lottery? Again, could have, should have, would have. I was always excited for them to have a chance to win the draft lottery, but obviously it was never meant to be. Dexter, will you still be doing raps? I'm going to take a break from those raps. I only do them when Jacob's down here, and Jacob might only be down here once every 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how the weeks go. So maybe I'll bring it back, Dexter, as a fun, a fun thing once in a while, but maybe not as a regular thing. I can see the haiku thing did not resonate with any of you as you haven't left any, but that's fine. Imagine if we had McDavid, it would be crazy. If we had McDavid, imagine McDavid, and you put Pettersson on the wing, McDavid, Pettersson, and Miller, that'd be sick. Canucks, I wanted the Canucks to tank in 16 to get Matthews. Yeah, and that was the year where we ended up picking Olli Juolevi, and we've seen how that's gone so far. We'll talk about it another time. I even wrote a song about it. Had my son Jacob sing it, even though he hadn't reached puberty yet. So if you want to look up Vancouver Canucks Clay Emo, one pick away, you'll see my son Jacob singing as a pre-puberty boy, preteen boy. Edmund, would you interview former Canucks players like Willie Mitchell? Absolutely, Edmund. I think those would make for some fascinating conversation. Okay, Dexter comes in with a haiku. Rona shut down puck. Imagine eating the bats. I want my hockey. Thank you. That at least matches the right syllables. I would puke when I see that mustache of Matthews every game. Yes, Nahal, I think not the best look on him. Alfred, here we go. This COVID-19 stopped the Canucks from playing. Now it's time to wait. Very good, Alfred. And Alfred, I know that you do a post-game haiku every time on Twitter. Not bad. Okay, here's another one from Tony. These are good. Pettersson and Hughes, making Canucks great again, offense and defense. Beautiful. Tony, good job. I know that you submit them on Twitter as well. Another one. This COVID-19 stopped this Canucks from playing. Now, okay, yeah, thank you, Alfred, for reiterating the syllables. Lori, thanks for hosting this chat. Clay, be well. You too, Lori. Take care of yourself. And Alex, which current NHL players would you want to be the GM and the coaches of the Canucks? Which current players? Current players, I'm trying to think of who would be a good coach. GM, I can't say. That's too hard to say. Coach, I think that's tough to say as well. I think of the older guys, the smart guys. It's so hard to tell who would be a good coach. Like Travis Green was a decent hockey player, but I don't know if anyone knew he'd be an NHL coach. I don't know. I'll go with Brandon Sutter. How's that? But yeah, Brandon Sutter, because some of the Sutter brothers coach for sure. Let's go with Brandon Sutter. Dexter, will you still be doing the Canucks gift card giveaway? Yes, I will, Dexter. I'm going to add up all those winners, and then as soon as they announce whether the season's going to continue or not continue, if it doesn't continue, I'll do the draw right away. And if it does continue, we'll continue to gather names. But yes, I want to give that card away and thank people, acknowledge people for sending in those haiku. Good. Let's finish off. Jamie, I met Willie Mitchell. That's pretty cool, Jamie. Dexter, because I won a haiku. Yes, Dexter, I know your name's in there. Alfred, all right, Clay, I'm heading off to bed. See you next time. God bless. Go Canucks, go. You too. Nahal, how do I enter the draw? Nahal, it's on Twitter. You got to follow me at Canuck Clay. After every Canucks game, I would post my own haiku about the game, and then I would say, send in your own, and then the best one the next morning will enter in a draw, and then I have one winner per game. So I have 69 names now, and I'm still waiting to see if I'm going to do it. So that is basically, it was basically one of those where it's a game-by-game basis. How about Trevor Linden for coach? I don't think he will want anything to do with the organization anymore, Jamie. Chris, Bo Brock Pettersson, they make the forward core good. Let's go get the cup. Very good, Chris. I like that. A nice haiku there. Nux, wait, does PD have a brother? Because when he got drafted, the reporter asked him a question saying, how do you feel about your brother getting drafted by Nashville? Yes, Dexter says it is Emil Pettersson in Nashville. That is correct. Okay, one other thing I forgot to mention. If you want to win a draw more quickly, you may have seen this. I did a little ad for Skip the Dishes. And it's on my I posted here on Twitter, but if you're on Instagram and you follow me, my full name at Clayton Emo, I'm drawing on Wednesday a random winner for a $25 voucher to Skip the Dishes. I filmed a little commercial, a little unboxing of some food I ordered through Skip the Dishes, and it's to support local businesses and local restaurants, of course. So if you're on Instagram, find me at Clayton Emo, find my post, it's my latest post on my Instagram feed, and all you gotta do is tag someone and follow a couple accounts, and then you will be entered in the draw that I'm doing on Wednesday. So again, that's if you want $25 to Skip the Dishes. Brock's Flow or Green's Greasy Lettuce, we'll end off with this. Nahal, I like Brock's Flow because it's not as greasy. Dexter, you're welcome. Okay guys, no rap today, no crazy things, but if you wanna say hi or bye in the comments as I'm wrapping up over the next minute, happy to read those and get those always. So here's a couple of things. enter that Skip the Dishes contest if you want. I'll be looking to do some more Zoom chats, not with this big group, but with one-on-ones, but I'm still thinking about that for us down the road. And I'll be vlogging about Roberto Luongo tomorrow as part of that Sportsnet oral history, so make sure you check that out. And overall, thanks for being here tonight. There was a lot of fun. I'd appreciate you to give this, I encourage you to give this video a thumbs up if you want to. I always say subscribe if you like to, and like this video if you like to. And take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be safe and be healthy. So once again, thanks for watching from no matter where you are. I really appreciate you, whether you're studying or working or doing a combination of both or doing neither. Please remember what's important, especially in light of everything we talked about, the Nova Scotia shootings and then the anniversary of Columbine or whatever it may be. Always, stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong mentally. And if you ever need anything, reach out to me. Find me. There are many ways you can find me, and reach out to people that you love, and make sure that you are not battling anything alone and that you're keeping your mental health strong. Okay, friends, thanks for watching, and I appreciate all of you. Take care. I'll see you on my vlog tomorrow, and then we'll be back here on YouTube 10 o'clock, as you guys have liked. People have spoken 10 o'clock on Thursday night this week. Okay, guys, take care. God bless. Go Canucks, go.